And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. This week's Pop Culture Cosmos will probably come to you around Monday, around lunchtime. We'll be recapping what's going on with the box office, what's up ahead for video games, streaming, and also movies as well as we get knee deep into the activity of October, where a lot of stuff is going on just before the holiday season. So go ahead and make sure you're part of what we're doing. Plus, I think it's about time we put out the episode that we go ahead and talk about the most popular Halloween costumes this year. So go ahead and check out what Josh Peterson and I will have to say right there at the Pop Culture Cosmos, indeed. Plus also as well, Legends here. So go ahead and make sure you go ahead and like, follow, and subscribe his I Got Next Sports Media, because he has a lot to say about the college football scene. Rest in peace, USC Trojans, to the football playoffs this year. And then also as well, rest in peace, UNLV, for any slight chance that they had for a football playoff this year as well. So because they all both went bye-bye, bye-bye, bye, bye. Yes, as they both lost. But you can find out what's going on with college football, NBA, NFL, and more right there for you at I Got Next Sports Media right there on YouTube. Also as well, of course, the Lakerholics crew, Lakerholics.com. We did not have a Lakerholics show. Jamie was out and about. I'll just say that. And, of course, the other guys, when they're not fighting each other, they'll go ahead and make sure they've got something set up for you at Lakerholics.com, because the opinions are flying on Lakerholics. I'll just say it. I'll just leave it at that. So if you want to see what Laker Tom is, or who Laker Tom is trading today, where Laker Tom thinks the Lakers are going to be at this season, Jamie, where he thinks the team is going to be at this season, Michael Heinrich, and also L. Rob as well, go ahead and make sure you join the community right there at Lakerholics.com. Want to go ahead and also give a big shout out to everyone out there that is going to be following the Dodgers this week, right there for you at playback.tv/the Joe Soro Experiment. It's the Experiment on YouTube, but on playback it's Experiment, the normal way you spell it. So go ahead and check out the Dodgers action there. And then on the flip side, the Lakers Fast Break not only has like a football game or two going on from time to time, but they also have, of course, we will have on Tuesday night, we'll have the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. And then after, of course, we're going to have our awesome, world famous post-game show. Legend, you were invited. I don't know if it would be a little bit late for you during the week, but you are, of course, invited. So you'll get the invitation. I understand if it's going to be a little bit late for you, but we got to have a post game for the game. So
I'll stay up late for that one.
All right, there you go. Indeed. I do also want to let everybody know Monday is also a big day, because that's our season prediction show. I have accumulated, hoarded all the season predictions for everyone out there, as far as our audience, our mods, and also as well most of our experts. Joe, notwithstanding, because he never participates in anything, because he is the modern day Ebenezer Scrooge. And in doing so, we've got most everybody else's thoughts on it. So I will debut them and show them tomorrow night on a show as well. Got a lot to talk about before we get started on our Western Conference preview, but also a couple last things wanted to mention. We still have the Fantasy Basketball League alive. We had to delay it a day because I'm still looking for more teams. So if you're like, oh, I was thinking about it, think about, well, join our ESPN Fantasy Basketball League today. We'll be glad if you did. So let me go ahead and I'll just type it in there. Join our ESPN League today. And I'll just put it in there. And I'm going to put it in the description for if you're listening and you want to join, I'll put it in the description as well. So, yes, all that good stuff coming at you. And then last but certainly not least, wanted to go ahead and give a big shout out to my good friend Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. You see right above me, Kobe, in that Sega Genesis style canvas art. If you got a hat you're thinking of the design for that you're really looking forward to having created something you can imagine in the sports, pop culture scene, or what have you, if you've got an idea for a shirt that you really want to go ahead and be proud of, something that you designed, you helped create, you helped come to life, you got an idea, concept. John has a fantastic Lakers pillow sitting in his office right there that Drip Show made. Joe has had some Dodger stuff related, t-shirts related, and then of course the canvas art. And I just dropped this. I got this right there.
Nice.
Luca, ready to go for the season right there. My eternal thanks to Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. You follow him, and then if you really want something made, or if you might want to nudge the significant other, honey, I really have this cool idea. I would love to have a Lakers Christmas motif thing, or a Dodgers thing, or a Atlanta Falcons thing, or a New York Knicks thing, or something with Taylor Swift. Doesn't matter. You can combine them all into one if you want to. Just tell Drip Show how you want it, and he'll let you know if he can deliver on it and how much it'll cost you. But at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter, that's where you start to get a great and awesome gift for yourself or someone else for this holiday season. All right. I started with this great gentleman right beside me here, our NBA team previews so many weeks ago. I think Legend was like 2 years younger at the time when we started this, seemingly. But after all I've been through, as far as all the interviews I've done from all around the world, these people have weighed in on the teams that they cover on a regular basis. I worked very hard night and day to bring you each and every one of those interviews, sometimes interviewing until 1:30 in the morning, to go ahead and make sure that you would get the insight that you need heading into this season. But it wouldn't be a team preview, wouldn't be a season preview without a look at both the Eastern and Western Conference. And I just dropped, for members, become a member today for just $2.99 a month, a chat with Nick Roloff from Chat Sports. Oh, they only have 418,000 subscribers on YouTube right now. So he knows the NBA, and he gives me a shout out right there on the Eastern Conference, and also some thoughts on the Lakers as well. So go ahead and become a member. You can catch it now, or you can see it here in a little bit, like maybe about Monday, sometime Monday. I'll pop it and make it available for everyone else. But you always get the insight. You always get the stuff that's ahead of you right there for you. As far as my special interviews, you always get it first. And on top of that, I have an interview with the author of a Lakers book coming out on Tuesday. I believe it's coming out Tuesday. I have it. I can't tell you what it is, or I break embargo, but I got it right here. I want to show you so bad. It's right here off camera, but I can't show it to you because I break embargo, and that would be bad, so I won't get any more free stuff. So I can't tell you what it is yet, but if you guys look out for a Lakers book that's coming this week, you'll know which one it is. He's already interviewing all over the place. I don't know why there's an embargo for it. He's already interviewing on national shows and all that, but okay, willing to play this game. But on Tuesday, I drop my interview with him, and I get to show you the book as well. It is a Lakers fast break audience book, because it tells you all the stuff, the inside stuff that the Lakers don't want you to hear about.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So right there for you. I'll have that info all for you on Tuesday for our post game, and I'll make it live on Tuesday right here for you with the Lakers fast break. Joe, this is called a show on the Western Conference. And of course, who better to go ahead and talk about the Western Conference? A good friend indeed. It is Legend. What's going on, Xbox? What's going on, Blue? I just sent it out. I couldn't do anything in advance on it. I've been out all day, so I really couldn't do anything. Plus, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. I'll just say that. It is a good man indeed. It is legend. Great to have you here. I wanted to go ahead and talk some Western Conference with you for an hour, a little less than that. So, how you been, my friend?
I've been pretty good. I cannot complain. Just got back from watching some good college football this weekend. How about you, Gerald?
Doing okay. I'm getting ready for the season, my friend. Again, a lot of stuff to deal with, a lot of stuff to plan out, a lot of stuff to try and get there for all of our consumers, whether they're watching or listening out there. Just hopefully your guys are okay with it. Again, like and subscribe. I want to go ahead and get into it right now with the Western Conference. Obviously, the OKC Thunder, heading into the season as the favorites here in Vegas. They're a team that didn't. I think they lost one individual as far as from the team. I think they've replaced him with one of their rookies that came in, Barnheiser, or as far as not too much as far as turnover is concerned. They signed to pretty big, hefty deals for their top three players, so they're locked up for years to come. They've got everything a team could ask for as far as youth, experience now with a title run. They've got talent across the board, depth, and a ton of assets they can utilize in trades if they see anything wrong coming underway. How imposing do you think that is to other teams in the Western Conference?
I think it made the Thunders a lot more taken serious team now. They got the experience, so no one can no longer say the word no experience. People can't say that anymore. Nobody can say they ain't been through it or they ain't got the toughness. They've been through it. They done it. They accomplished it. I think they make this team a lot tougher and taking more serious going forward now. And what makes this team to me really dangerous, outside of what they got on the court already, is the fact they can continue to make moves. What makes it so dangerous? It's the fact if they really want to go get a Giannis Antetokounmpo, they can do it. They have all the assets. They got the trade pieces. They can literally tell them, what do you want? We got you. That's, to me, what makes them more dangerous. I think that is what's going to make Oklahoma a real threat to they can improve if they really had to. So I feel like Oklahoma is sitting in a really pretty spot right now, knowing that they got the draft picks, they got the players, they can do anything needs to be done. And they got the right general manager to take care of it.
Well, that they do. Again, they have the title to prove it. But people have been talking about how deep the Western Conference is. And if there's any slip up at the top, there's a bevy of teams just behind them in the Western Conference that could go ahead and possibly take that title. I know that the team that's most mentioned is the Denver Nuggets right now, because the Denver Nuggets, they come in, they took the Oklahoma City Thunder 7 games in last year's playoffs, and they, in a lot of people's eyes, fixed a lot of what ails them and what ails them as far as their depth is concerned. First off, they made the great trade in a lot of people's minds as far as sending Michael Porter Jr. to the Nets, bringing back Cam Johnson, a player that many people think is just as good as MPJ for a considerably less. They bring in Tim Hardaway Jr., they bring in Valanciunas, they bring in players to help with bolster the roster. They look more like a team that can actually play a lot of people and individuals out there, especially not having to tax Murray and Jokic as much during the course of the regular season, which I think is big. Your thoughts on what Denver did this season, and how close do you think they could come, or do you think they should be considered the favorites in the Western Conference?
I think Denver had a really good offseason. I really think, like you said, Gerald, they have to solve a lot of their issues. They got the backup big that they need, so now you should be able to take Jokic off the court. You shouldn't fall apart. You got good role players that just came in. I think moving MPG was a good move. He haven't really showed up that much, and he's been kind of injury prone, so I think that was a really good move as well. And then the last part, to me, the best part of the whole thing is just the fact they got another big. That's, to me, going to be a humongous difference. So now you can't just blitz at Jokic anymore or take advantage when he's off the court. That should solve a lot of those issues they had last year. I think this Denver Nuggets team will be a lot better. And the fact that this team took the defending champions to 7 games should make you be a little like, uh-oh. Well, they took them to 7 games. They wasn't even that built to win a championship fully. Now they got a real team that can do it. Well, what can they do now? The sky's the limit at this point. So I think Denver's a real threat that can really win it. I think they're a true championship contender. I definitely think they are definitely between 1 and 3. They can be in either one of those spots.
I'll say this. Those guys, the Australians, if you want to come in, I sent you guys a link on your email just to let you know. But we're going to go and cut out of here at about 8:50. But when it comes to the Western Conference, Denver does look like a very strong outlet. But there's another team that's been mentioned quite a bit. That's the Houston Rockets. Talk to me about the Houston Rockets. A lot of people out there, when they first heard about the Fred VanVleet injury and how he's, ACL, and he'll be out most likely for the entire season, they thought that would be a detriment. I thought it would be a detriment, but
I did too.
Upon seeing how in the preseason how they want to utilize the passing, the distributing, the point guard play with Amen Thompson. A lot of people are very keen to what Amen Thompson might be doing as far as a dynamic playmaker, an athlete, one of the best athletes in the league right now, and a very skilled playmaker heading into this season. He was just going to be thought of as someone who could be a really great secondary playmaker who is going to take that next step into being a really good player. But now this has been thrust upon him. But so far in the preseason, it looks like he's not only held up fine, but he might make the Houston Rockets a little bit better than what many people are thinking about with VanVleet injured.
I would definitely say I actually thought when VanVleet went down, I really thought that was going to be not a end of the season for them, but just kind of pulled them down to earth a little bit. But Thompson looks really good. He looks like he could really handle the role, and this might be when Thompson's going to really blossom. With VanVleet not in the way, he could sit here and just excel, just take another level in his game, and this could be the moment because now he got more responsibility. But this Houston Rockets team is built to win it. This team is built to win it. We got Kevin Durant. That's what they really needed. They needed a man they can go to at the end of ball games. They didn't have that last year. Their offense was very skinny, and they just had nobody they can go to, and they needed a bucket. Well, you got Kevin Durant. You got that now. So that solves a lot of that issue. You still got your good defense there. You still got Thompson who can play defense. They still got a good friend of y'all's from the Lakers, Gerald, who joined them as well this summer, and they geared up and ready. They ready to do something. This team has potential to do it. And the part that I would say will give Houston a really good chance is the recent history in the NBA so far. The last, almost 5 years now, it's been no back-to-back champions. So if that history continues to roll, it would say the Thunder won't win it this year. It's going to be somebody new again. And it still lines up for the Houston Rockets. It gives you a chance. It could be them. So we're going to see how it plays out, but they got the team to do it. Only thing I would say I would worry about him is, can Kevin Durant stay healthy? Can he stay healthy and not go down to some serious injuries? He have been injury prone too.
Yeah. I'll just say this, and as we're recording this, he just signed a 2-year extension worth $90 million. That still gives Houston flexibility going forward in the years following this season. So that's something I think a lot of Houston fans can go ahead and rejoice about, is that he didn't break the bank per se for the Houston Rockets. They'll still have the ability to, if they want to extend Tari Eason, and then also, again, still be able to add pieces going forward, which is good for them. Right now, they're still, they're up against the cap right now, but they will be able to have that flexibility going forward, which is going to be great if you're a Houston fan. I did want to also mention that Portland, who we'll get to here in a little bit, Portland did sign Kamara and also as well Shaden Sharp, 2 extensions, totaling, I think, about $172 million off the top of my head for a combined both of those individuals as well. But I wanted to make mentions of that because this is one of the last days you can sign as far as for extensions are concerned. Teams making cut down days and things of that nature. So yes, everything is maneuvering towards the start of the season. And with that, again, if you are buying into a top three, as many have bought into during the course of the summer, as far as OKC, Denver, and Houston, everything else seems to be up for grabs as far as where you perceive these teams to be as far as for the rest of the conference is concerned. If you are a believer in that top three hierarchy, and not everyone is, and what I've seen as far as in the previews and predictions, which I'll talk about tomorrow night on Monday Night Show, again, there's still some difference of opinion there. But talk to me about a team that you're very familiar with in the Golden State Warriors. They were thought of as, obviously having a good regular season as far as after Jimmy Butler came to the team. Their playoffs didn't quite work out the way they wanted to after Stephen Curry got hurt. This season, this summer, the Jonathan Kuminga drama played itself out. Ultimately, it got into a point where it looks like that Golden State played itself out very well and signed Kuminga to a contract that is more benefiting them than it is to the player involved. And then I saw as soon as they were able to go ahead and sign some of the people that were waiting in line to go ahead and join the team, primarily Al Horford, it seemed like the team interest, as far as for the betting lines, as far as for the prognosticators out there, seem to go at a really high level with, in fact, Kevin Pelton from ESPN thinks that they will come out of the Western Conference instead of some others. In fact, he has them second in the West, but ultimately being more successful in the playoffs as well. So with that, where do you eye the Golden State Warriors at this point from our first conversation so many weeks ago to where it is now, my friend?
Well, good question on that one, because that's something I'm going to talk about on my podcast either tomorrow afternoon or so. I would definitely say I was very surprised to see that the Warriors so many people are very high on the Warriors. I think they were projected to maybe win about, if I saw correct, about 50 plus games, 56 plus games, something like that. So I am a little surprised to see that many people are very high on the Warriors. I think this Warrior team, for right now until I see the season plays out first, at least see a month of the season, I'm gonna say I have them finishing like in the middle of the pack, between like 4 and 6 range, but more so between 5 and 6. I think that's the sweet spot for the Warriors, 5 and 6. But I can kind of see too why a lot of people are seeing so high hopes in the team, because I'll always say I think Al Horford is like a dream fit with that team. He can shoot the 3-point shot perfectly, stretch the floor. That's perfect. Kind of remind me of how Draymond used to be able to shoot the 3-point ball too a couple years ago. But perfect fit. Jimmy, perfect fit as well, playing the Robin role, and then doing stuff things, and Draymond, the Draymond things. So I think I can see what everyone see. We got a good young core, but my only thing about them is they're old. It's they're old. That's the only thing about them. It's they're old. It's the age part is my concern. Now, if they can stay healthy, then if they can stay healthy, then of course I'm always say wisdom beat youth all day, every day. Your wisdom beat youth. So if they can stay healthy, then I might lean toward like, okay, well, I'm not worried about y'all young teams because you're gonna do something crazy, make mistakes. These guys ain't gonna make the mistakes. So I'm gonna look at that part. But the fact that I think is skill-wise, they fit perfect, but can you stay healthy? That's what I got to say about the Golden State Warriors.
Well, they are the Golden State Warriors. It's so funny because I know that when the Clippers assembled their team, because they finished assembling their team earlier than the Golden State Warriors, we called them the old ass Clippers as far as that's concerned because of how old they were. And here comes the Golden State Warriors, who actually will field a starting lineup older than the Clippers. Now, overall, 1 to 12, I think the Clippers are a little bit older as far as average age, but yeah, it's close between those two, and those two are banking on experience and depth, I think, to get them through this season and maybe having a pathway in the playoffs. Speaking of the Clippers, I wanted to go ahead and ask a question to you before we get to the Clippers. Parade on Figueroa, because I don't know how long he's going to be here on Twitch. Truly appreciate you stopping by, my friend. He says, which current free agent surprises you has not yet been picked up by a team? Is there a free agent out there? Because Westbrook got picked up recently by the Sacramento Kings, and we'll get to them here in a little bit. But is there a team? Is there a player that still stands out to you that has not been picked up as of yet?
I would say Victor Oladipo. He looked really good in that preseason. I mean, I'm surprised.
Yeah, he was playing for China. Yes, a Chinese team. Yes, a Chinese club team to be exact. So yes.
So I'm a little surprised that he's still not in the NBA anymore. The one I was surprised was really Russell Westbrook. That was the one I was a little bit surprised of. But he got picked up now. Mm-hmm. The only other one I might say I'm not too surprised, but just a little bit that nobody ain't taking a chance with him is Ben Simmons. I'm a little surprised that nobody just taking a gamble on him. So looking like he may have ran his course, it looks like. But I can't think of anyone else who is not on the roster right now.
I can tell you one, it depends on how well you receive the baggage that comes along with him, and that is Malik Beasley, who had an outstanding season last year with Detroit, but who obviously got a little bit of hot water with the federal government, but they did clear him. So I wasn't sure why somebody didn't pick it up, or starting with Detroit, but he remains a free agent at this time. But if you want a gunner who could shoot 40% from three, there you go. He proved it last season with Detroit that he still has the sharp eye. So I expect him to be picked up at some point. I would have actually preferred him for Sacramento over Russell Westbrook, but it's clear that they thought in a different fashion, and I'll just leave it at that. Joe is being his moronic adolescent self in the chat, as only he can do. But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. It is, of course, Gerald Glassford, along with legend. I got Dick Sports Media. We're previewing the Western Conference. If you want to go ahead and make sure you get the total landscape of all the teams that are out there that are in the NBA by team, go ahead and check out my detailed conversations with people who cover these teams on a daily basis right there for you on the channel. Right there is a full playlist for this upcoming season, so go ahead and check it out, and that's where this will be as well. So with that, though, the Clippers. Let's bring the Clippers in here. Your thoughts on the Clippers? Again, yes, they do look a little aged, like the Golden State Warriors, but like the Golden State Warriors, they have a lot of names. They have a lot of veterans that it have in the past and in recent past done quite a few good things. Again, the Clippers look like a team that's even more solidified along the front line. That's one of the things I think they thought was a big weakness after Zubats was what could they do along the front line or as far as backup? It just seems like Zubats was out there by himself quite a bit. Well, now with Collins coming in from Utah, with Lopez coming in from Milwaukee, they drafted a 7-footer out of Penn State. They also brought in Bradley Beal. They brought it back Chris Paul as a backup point guard. They stacked themselves with a lot of names, but we've seen before teams with a lot of names on their roster not do quite as well as they thought they would. For example, the Lakers about 3 seasons ago when they brought back the 2016 All-Star team with Carmelo Anthony and the like, Russell Westbrook, et cetera, et cetera. So with that, your thoughts, are they just names or can they still provide quite a bit out there, especially with a healthy Kawhi Leonard while he's still out there on the floor pending the league's investigation? He's been out there looking healthy so far. How are their chances this upcoming season?
Well, got a good one for them. The Los Angeles Clippers, they got a pretty good team. They look good on paper, but like you said, Gerald, it does remind me a lot of the 22 Lakers, and I would say the same with the Warriors too. Remind me a lot of the 22 Lakers, and another one I would throw in there too. I can't think it was the 2017 Cavs. We had a lot of big names on that roster too that did not work out too well, but
yeah,
it does look kind of like that scenario, and we'll see how it plays out. Like on paper, it looks good, but I don't know how I can work on that court. And I don't expect much from Chris Paul at this stage, so I know he's going to be more so, to me, like leadership-wise. I'm not for sure what Bradley Beal got left in the tank either, because of he can still play, but he just had the injury prone part. Not for sure what's going to happen to Kawhi Leonard with that situation. I'm going to assume that won't be resolved before this year is over with. And Brook Lopez, I think that's a good pickup, just up in the age. And 7-footer, drafted, good move. I think it looks like it's a solid team. It looks like it's a team that could go somewhere. But I look at them with the same questions Golden State. Can you stay healthy? That's my biggest thing. It's not even just Kawhi anymore now. Now I got to look at everybody on this whole roster. You still had to worry about Kawhi, but now you got a bunch of old guys that I just don't know if their bodies can handle that 82-game season, because it's grueling. It's by the time you get to December and January, you start seeing them injury buzz, nicking and knacking. So same as my Golden State, look good on paper, but I just don't know if your bodies can hold up. We're gonna find out.
Well, we'll find out exactly how both of those older teams will fare this season. But there's another team we haven't talked about yet that has found some decent success, pretty good success the past couple seasons in the playoffs, yet just couldn't quite climb over that hump. And that was the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's funny because they lost one individual to their rotation. But that one individual seems to be so important because he moved over to Atlanta, that being Nickeil Alexander-Walker, that a lot of people are down. Bettors here in Vegas and basically prognosticators around the country are kind of down on the Minnesota Timberwolves this season. They do not think that a lot of them think that they cannot be able to go ahead and repeat on getting to the Western Conference Finals or go even higher. Your thoughts on the Minnesota Timberwolves? I mean, when I was talking into my two-part team preview for the Minnesota Timberwolves, I mean, the belief is that Ant still has another level he needs to reach and another level he can reach. Let's say he reaches it this season, Legend. Does that mean that Minnesota still might find that same level of success that they've been doing these past two seasons?
I think for Minnesota to really get back to what it was a year ago, to be back in that spot, you're going to have to be able to make up for that production of not having Nah there anymore. So you're going to need to see your superstar, Anthony Edwards, take that next level jump. Because I think that's what a lot of reporters were already telling him when they lost last year. You're going to have to get better. You're going to have to take it to the next step. You're going to have to, because I'm going to say this. I'm not going to take credit from them at all, but you beat an injured Golden State Warriors team, so that kind of helped you out a lot. I don't know how that series would have went if you were healthy, but you know that series against Oklahoma showed a lot of things about Anthony Edwards too. They had moments he showed up, but moments he didn't show up that well. So I feel like that team still got a lot of growing up to do. And then you got to think about, Buddy looked like he was Shaq out there when he played against the Lakers. Then when he played against the Thunders, he was non-existent pretty much. Julius Randle showed up pretty good, but kind of.
He got a nice contract.
Yeah.
Naz Reid got a nice contract. So we'll see if those nice contracts parlay themselves into a good season where I think if they get off to a good start, unlike what they did last year, that will help propel them going forward. And then again, can Anthony Edwards take that next step? Those in Minnesota are hoping they can. Plus, they're two second-year players. They were rookies last year, Dillingham and Shannon Jr. If they start to arrive as players, that helps this team even more, especially with the fact that Mike Conley, of all these old players we've been talking about, Legend, Mike Conley, in a lot of people's eyes, is seen as the guy that may fall off the most because he is, 39? 40?
39.
That's right. Yeah,
I think
so he is right in there. So he has been talked about the most as far as when he is going to be moved out of that starting lineup. So it's up to Dillingham and Shannon to get that done.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the two younger fellas that are going to have to step up, and they're going to have to, because losing Nah to me was a big hurt. I mean, you can't see Atlanta Hawks. I mean, big upgrade for Atlanta Hawks, but that's a hurt for them because he was a major piece into the reason why they made it that far, other than just Ant, Julius Randle, and everyone else in that squad. He was one of the big pieces as well. So them young boys are going to have to step up. because Mike been in it for a while, but it's about that time when you start to show the decline. And the only way you can make up for that decline is your younger team, your younger boys gonna have to grow, show the growth that they improve. They're starting to arrive. So we gonna see. This to me is a season where, just like Luka, I think Anthony Edwards got a chance to make an MVP case. A lot of people are already starting to write you off, so this is your chance to propel the Minnesota Timberwolves into back where they were last year. Put up some MVP numbers. That's what it's gonna come down to.
And I'll tell you what, if that's going to be the case, Minnesota will be something to deal with, but we'll have to wait and see because Gobert's a year older, Conley's a year older. We'll see if they still stay effective. I see good things from DiVincenzo. I think DiVincenzo needs to get more of an opportunity. Kind of a lost season because he was doing so well with the Knicks. I don't know if he truly found himself on a consistent basis in Minnesota, but if they can figure out what they can do for him and unlock him, that could put Minnesota right there in the mix in the Western Conference. But before we go any further, I know we have to touch more on your thoughts. You've already had 2 opportunities during our team previews to talk about the Lakers. And I don't want to go over them too much because you and I are going to be talking about them quite a bit. And we have talked about them quite a bit over the course of many weeks. I've talked about that quite a bit with people all over the world about the Lakers because each and every one of my conversations with these guys on their teams ends with the Lakers as far as what they think the Lakers are going to do. Obviously, LeBron is still out. It's been hopeful this time, possibly a mid to late November return for LeBron. If that's the case, that will still give him about 60 games during the course of the season. But right now, the Lakers head into the season, obviously not having a great preseason, but that's not always a precursor for things to come. Your thoughts, because Luka is playing at an elite level. Looks like he's ready to go. He's been very efficient in the preseason. How much is going to be on him to go ahead and carry this team while LeBron's out in order for this team to remain competitive at the top of the Western Conference?
I think a lot is going to ride on Luka to put on the Superman cape and going to have to do a lot. I think he's going to definitely have to really, really show that MVP level. I think this is going to be one of the reasons why he's going to propel into that MVP conversation because they're going to look at the fact that there was no LeBron James there at the beginning, and it's just you and a bunch of others and Austin Reeves. That's pretty much it. And I think it's going to be a little rocky because you still got to figure out with a lot of new pieces. But I think this is going to be a Luka moment to really show the world what you got, show the world what in shape Luka looks like versus what he was last year. Out of shape Luka was putting up numbers. Let's see what in shape Luka, what type of numbers he can put up. So I'm thinking this is going to be one of the biggest reasons why he's going to really be in that MVP conversations because this is my prediction. I might be wrong on this part. I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron be sitting out a good bit this season. And that'd be the reason why Luka shoots up in that MVP. Because he's going to go through a lot of the season without LeBron. So I think LeBron will be kind of in and out. I think it's going to be the year he'll be dealing with some injuries. And you'll be trying to rest him up there for playoff-wise. So I'm thinking this is going to be why MVP Luka's going to show up. Because he's going to have to step up and make up for that 20, 25 points you would get from LeBron. You want to make that up.
Absolutely. So we'll see what happens with there. I know that speculation on his future is still out there on whether or not he's going to retire at the end of this year or continue to play or where he'll continue to play. That's been a source of great conversation on our channel for quite some time, and it will continue to be as such. But the other team I want to go ahead and mention that has been talked about in that top 6 equation is the Dallas Mavericks. Now, Kyrie Irving is probably not going to come back until maybe late January, February at the earliest. Would be many people are trying to project him out as far as recovering from his injury, his knee injury. Your thoughts on the Dallas Mavericks? They have what they boast as probably one of the best front lines in the NBA with 7-footers right there along the front line. You've got a team that actually has a starting lineup without Kyrie Irving, and they're that I think is going to go into the season with Cooper Flagg, their number 1 overall draft pick, possibly as their point guard alongside Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis, and then Derek Lively Jr. also, or Derek Lively, and then also as well, of course, Daniel Gafford backing him up as well. So that's a lot of beef out there, a lot of height. And I know that Nico Harrison's slogan was defense wins championships, but do they have enough offense to go ahead and create until Kyrie gets back to be competitive in the Western Conference?
I think this team will be one of them teams that you don't expect a lot from them, but they can surprise you. Because this team has potential to be really good. And that's the part I think what sets Cooper Flagg up to be in such a perfect situation. There's not a lot of pressure on you. You get to play with Anthony Davis. You get to play with Kyrie when he comes back. You get to play with a champion, actually 3 champions, Kyrie, AD, Klay. That's going to help out a lot. And you still got Gafford out there with you. You got a lot of good pieces on this team. Even D'Lo. D'Lo, another good catch and shooter, can get hot anytime. I think this team is set up for some good success. This team could surprise a lot of people. This might be the one thing I agree with Skip Bayless on. I think this team is going to be better than a lot of people think. I know a lot of people don't expect much from them, but I think they're going to be better than what a lot of people think. I had a Dallas Maverick making the playoffs this year. I think they're going to make it. Maybe as an A seed, but I think they're going to make it. Them or the Spurs, one of those two finna make it. Oh, both.
Well, we're gonna talk about the Spurs right now. Victor Wembanyama, just says what a sensational player. I mean, just a lot of gifts for a guy that's 7'5". If he stays on the court, he is an instant 25, 10, 3, 4, 5 blocks. It's just amazing the things that he could possibly do this season. How far would this team go with him? If he plays at an MVP level, they could surprise a lot of people out there. The thing is, though, do they have enough shooting from the backcourt? Because they've got 3 good guards, including the number 2 draft pick, Dylan Harper. But can any of them provide enough shooting and spacing enough for Victor Wembanyama?
I'm going to start off with Victor first. Victor looked outstanding. And then the fact what makes it even better, he got taller. How much more taller can you get? Like, just keep getting better and better. So I'm like, that's amazing. He got taller. He got better. The first thing I already noticed, you can tell he been in the gym. You can tell he been lifting some muscle. You can tell it. He look a little more built now compared to a year before. So I thought that's a major improvement. He giving you some powerful dunks in the game, look physical. The shooting is getting better. He looks more confident. He looking like a real superstar to me. So Victor looks perfect. He's going to come down to the rest of them, like you said, Gerald. Can the others knock down some jumpers? Can Stephen Castle, all of them, can they step up? I really want to see Stephen Castle step up because his hometown not that far from my hometown. I would love to see him do his thing, representing. I would love to see what De'Aaron Fox is going to do, having a chance to compete for something for the really first time. Have a chance to really compete for actual title. So I know they're not really favored to win no championship, but they could make some real noise. Like it's there. They got potential. But Victor is the real deal, and you can tell it. He's getting better and better and better every time you watch him play. I already said defense player of the year is him. He already got that on lock. That trophy won him.
The thing is, though, do they want to field the assets around him now that can provide him that potential at a championship or at least a good, strong run in the playoffs? Or do they want to wait and see if they can grow this team a little bit more, or that young backcourt develop it more around DeAndre Fox, who is a veteran ready to go right now, but their front line outside of Wembanyama still have some question marks over there. So we'll see what happens. And again, the shooting and the spacing will be of great concern, because if you can find enough shooters to space it out and create really open lanes for Victor Wembanyama, absolutely, because he could just he doesn't do what traditional 7'5" players or 7-foot players do. So he is a unique individual. So absolutely, I'm eager to see what he'll do, and I'm wishing him full health this season and a good run for the San Antonio Spurs. But those are the teams that are talked about as far as the top 8 are concerned. Then you have a bevy of teams as far as Memphis Grizzlies, the Sacramento Kings, the Phoenix Suns, the Portland Trailblazers that seem to be in a mix by themselves. Memphis at one time last season was number 2 in the Western Conference, and they fell just short of that in that really mixed together a batch between second place and 8th place last season, and then they fell just a couple. They faded late in the season, fired their head coach, and they fell to 8th, and were really no match for OKC. The thing is, though, Legend, it's really hard to get behind the Memphis Grizzlies because they just cannot stay healthy. Ja Morant, whether it's an off-court issue or whether it's an on-court issue, just has a hard time staying on the court. Triple J just signed that huge max contract, so we'll see how healthy he will try to be going forward. In fact, he might actually be ready for the start of the season because he's already played in the preseason game. So with that, my friend, your thoughts on the Memphis Grizzlies. Are they for real, or are they maybe an afterthought for this season in the Western Conference?
They are an afterthought. I think they have potential, but it's just something missing with that team. And I feel like for Ja, you're going to have to develop more parts of your game. I think you cannot just rely on athleticism to get the job done. You got to develop some more part. You got to improve that jump shot. Got to get better with passing. You just got to do other stuff, not rely on dunking, because your dunking is the reason why you keep staying hurt all the time. That's one of your reasons why. You got to start figuring out other ways to impact the game. You need Triple J to continue to get better as well. I think Triple J is a really good asset. I think he's doing a phenomenal job. It's just, to me, it's the others around you. And then, of course, Ja, stay out of trouble, which he's been doing that pretty straight now. He's gotten better with that part. You just need to see what the others can develop into, too. But I feel like this team just need to get the right coach, too. You need to find a coach that can help get these group of young guys together and rally them in to being what they can be, and try to help Ja develop into another player who can score and do other stuff without relying so much on athleticism. I think the potential is there, but I just don't think it's their time right now. I think this team is an afterthought for right now until they get some things together.
Well, they've got that new coach. Actually, he was the assistant coach in that weird dynamic that they had in Memphis. Not Taylor Jenkins' choice as far as the assistant coach, but it looks he was forced out. Tomas Lisalo is now the head coach, and we'll see if he brings in a new dynamic for this team going forward. But again, I'm just there. I don't know if they have enough pieces to keep up with the rest of the Western Conference. If not, it might be an 8 to 10, 8 to 12 type deal as far as where they pace themselves in the Western Conference. And of course, if Ja doesn't stay healthy, that doesn't make things much better for them. And they already have Zach Edey out of the lineup, and Triple J has to be healthy for them as well to have any type of competitiveness moving forward. Your thoughts on the Portland Trailblazers, though? We talked about them earlier with their signings of Kamara and also as well Sharp, getting them signed. I didn't hear anything about Scoot Henderson, so maybe they're waiting to see on Scoot Henderson. Obviously, he has a torn hamstring to start the season, so we'll see when he can come back. A team with interesting dynamic as far as their team. Very expensive veterans that I'm not sure if any of them really are going to help you win now. Drew Holiday, maybe the most, but he's 35. Damian Lillard is going to be watching from the sidelines, and Jeremy Grant, he could still play now and then, but he has the most undesirable contract in the league. Robert Williams, Time Lord, can he even stay on the floor? But then you back that up with a very nice young contingent with Denny Advia, Donovan Clingan, Kamara, Sharp. I don't know. Are they playing for the now, or are they playing for the future, Legend? I really can't figure it out.
I feel like they're almost right in that middle. To me, it looked like they still don't know what they want to do, because you brought in Drew Holiday and Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard won't be too much of a help this season. But the fact that you brought in those two is kind of odd for a team that is this young and should be in rebuilding mode. So that's a little weird that they did that. So I'm not for sure if you are bringing them in for like mentorship for these younger guys or what are you trying to do? It's a little bit weird that you certainly are not good enough to be trying to win now mode. So I know you're not doing that. So I'm not sure what you're trying to do. So I'm a little surprised that Damian Lillard went back there. I thought you were trying to win the championship. So I guess he must have hung that up, gave that up, and just like Mr. Portland for life. That's it. So I'm not for sure exactly what that franchise is trying to do. It's a little odd. But I'm going to say they're more in the middle and still trying to figure themselves out on what they can do.
Antoine, what seed do you all think that the Clippers will be? I think that the Clippers, again, we're going to have all our predictions on Monday night, but both Ledge and I have seen the improvement in depth on that roster. It is an older roster, but it's definitely a lot of depth on that roster, and depth during the regular season really is something that can really help you and goes a long way. And it's something that helped me make a lot of decisions as far as where I place teams, to be honest with you, Antoine. Depth really is something that came to mind as far as how much depth you have on that roster. And because over the course of an 82 game season, you must have depth. And because if you don't, it could lead to some ugly times when you have injuries or you just want to rest players from time to time during the course of the season. But great question here. But we will have those answers for you in full. I have, I think, 9 or 10 predictions, full predictions, both Western and Eastern Conference predictions, also as well the finals, also as well Coach of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Rookie of the Year predictions from 10 panelists, all not named Joe, that will be able to go ahead and I will provide for you on the air tomorrow that I have all set up for you, including my own, including Legends. So yes, join us tomorrow night or catch tomorrow night's show. We'll have that in detail for you, Antoine. So Joe, always the insightful right there for you as well. But yes, great to have you guys here. And as we close up here real quick, Phoenix, what are your thoughts about the Phoenix Suns? Devin Booker getting up the back end of his contracts, 2 years padded, very nice, $70+ million each. He's very happy to be his son. And of course, if you're paying me $75 million per year on the last 2 years of my contract, I'd be very happy as well. But he's put in a somewhat not perfect position for him as the point guard. But with the new assets that they got from Houston in the Kevin Durant trade, and also as well, the Mark Williams trade in Charlotte, drafting Kaman Malawak, who actually impressed in his time playing against the Lakers. Where do you see the Phoenix Suns this season?
Just going through rebuilding mode to me. I think Phoenix is right now just going through the phases of reconstructing their stuff and cleaning up from that mess that they had last season. And I'm just going to assume that Devin Booker has accepted that you're not in win now mode. You pretty much accepted that part. That this is going to be a full rebuild mode, and he's willing to go through it because he wants to do his career with one team. So I'm assuming he's accepted what's going to happen. But they're in rebuilding mode, redoing the whole team, and I'm going to assume that general manager have learned his lesson about trying to be Mr. Rich and try to outdo everybody money-wise, and saw how you destroyed your team when you did it that way. So don't expect too much from Phoenix this season. Just maybe the most they can be a play-in team. It might be the most they can accomplish and fight for that 7 to 8 seed. But that's about it. There's no championship odds for them, or not even a contender. Just staying in the midst of play-in wise is what I see for them.
Yes, you're right. The last 2 years are 65 and 70 million. So, what's a few million among friends there? Yeah. There you go. Just a lot of money being tossed around for Devin Booker to make him happy and keep him happy in the Suns, land of the Suns. But we'll see how that works out. The Sacramento Kings have been talked about. They recently picked up Russell Westbrook. Again, if it was just cap manipulation because of the fact that they didn't want to go over the first cap, it still was it's based on bonuses. And funny how the bonuses that are most likely not going to be attained by Sabonis and I think Levine, as I mentioned about a couple days ago, That's the money that they're using for Westbrook. And if they really are having a bad season, they could just trade a contract away to get back under the cap and be eligible to get some cash for them at the end of the season. But I just think that's what they're looking for, because this is a team full of veterans, team full of mismatched veterans. They're not great on offense and they're not great on defense. So where do you put this team, the Sacramento Kings, going forward?
Definitely gonna be at the bottom of the West. I think they're gonna be at the very bottom. They're gonna be one of them teams that are gonna be in that play-in mix with the Suns and maybe the Spurs and maybe the Pelicans. They're gonna be in that mix with them. So I see them as being as another play-in team. Not a real contender, no championship odds, none of that. Just being a play-in team wise. I think they're good enough at least to be that. And I'm kind of curious to see how the Russell Westbrook part gonna play out too, knowing how he's not a work-ready shooter. So I'm gonna see how they're gonna fit him in with DeRozan and Zach LaVine and all of them. But we're gonna see how much they're gonna be lighting the beam this year, because it's definitely gonna be light. Ain't gonna be no lighting championship contenders or nothing like that this year. So
one couple last teams that we're going to go over to finish off the Western Conference. Once again, it is Legend from I Got Deck Sports Media. Please go ahead and like, follow, and subscribe to all of his great shows today on his I Got Deck Sports Media on YouTube. The New Orleans Pelicans. Zion Williamson looks healthy. Looks like he might actually get through the course of the season. Of course, we've said that before, and he's, I guess a little over 200 games in 6 NBA seasons, this is his 6th NBA season, so that's not a great ratio. 240 or something like that? Yeah, odd games. Yeah, it's not good. Let's just put it that way. But he is a dynamic player when he's in there. Trey Murphy is an awesome player as well. A lot of people are eyeing him as a trade piece more than just to keep him as a cornerstone for the New Orleans Pelicans. Herb Jones, an outstanding defender. They seem to have some pieces in place, but like Sacramento, it's not all fitting together. Plus, Derek Queen comes aboard at the cost of a first-round pick next season, an unprotected first-round pick next season. What are the odds that Atlanta will be a very happy team with a high first-round pick and a poor season from New Orleans next summer?
I think it's going to be very good, because I don't expect much from him. I do not expect the Pelicans to be that great. I'm going to say that I think Zion's going to be better. But to me, he looks a whole lot in better shape. But I think he's still going to go through the same old story. The injury prone is going to end up happening. And I think this team is going to be another team that's going to end either A, play in, or B, missing the playoff. It's going to be one or the other. And I think the Hawks are going to go into the season as a top 3 or top 5 team and be laughing, saying we got a first round pick, and we didn't have to be bad to get it. Thanks to these good people in New Orleans want to give away draft picks. We appreciate it. So I think we're gonna definitely get that draft pick, and we're gonna even send them a fruit basket and everything to say thank you so much.
I'll tell you what, though, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays itself out. Tony Baloney, big shout out to him. One of your favorite viewers, shout out to him, a big Lakers fan. He said, imagine if Braun doesn't come back to Lakers and Austin Reeves walks in free agency. Well, that can't happen, because if another good season happens for Austin, he's going to be looking for a very large paycheck. And, Joe, you, as he's still in the comments down there, you wanted him gone. You might just will that into existence for LeBron, if that's the case. But the last team we need to talk about is the Utah Jazz. And while Ace Bailey is probably the only other player right now, I think, Legend, that has a chance to supplant Cooper Flagg as the Rookie of the Year, because he's going to get all the minutes and all the shots he wants.
Yep.
The front line of Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler, a lot of people are going to keep their eye on as far as other fans like us, because those two are going to be probably into every mock trade that you will see from now until February.
Oh, everybody want them. As soon as they say they're available, you can have everybody. What you want? What you need? What you need? We ready. They're gonna be the front two line to be in that conversation. And I think Ace Bailey gonna definitely give Cooper Flagg a good run for that Rookie of the Year. He gonna be able to get plenty of shots all he want. They ain't going nowhere. They're gonna be losing games mostly. So it's you ain't gotta worry about nothing with them. You're not gonna be a play-in team. You're just gonna be do your season, enjoy your summer in Bahamas or wherever you want to go to, France, whatever. You ain't gonna play off. So they're gonna be playing just to be playing. But I really want to see who's gonna get those two. Who's gonna end up getting Kessler and oh man, I would love to get Kessler. They just want too much for him. Just gotta hope Oklahoma don't try to get in the mix because they got the package to get him.
Yep, absolutely. Again, we'll see what happens. Utah will be able to just if they want, Lauri Markkanen will go at a high price, but you're going to have to deal with both the Ainges. There's two Ainges there now, and that's twice the headache if you're trying to go ahead and get those either Kessler or Markkanen in a trade. So we'll see what happens. But if something happens to Flag as far as an injury, I think Ace Bailey will probably be the favorite for Rookie of the Year if something happens. Again, it's Flags to lose, but if not, I would say Ace Bailey would be my shot, or Trey Johnson out of Washington would be my shot as far as those guys, because those guys are going to get plenty of reps and plenty of minutes in their respective teams. But Legend, it's been great having you on previewing the Western Conference. It's been our final preview so far as everything that we've accumulated. But before we head out, I want to hope to give you a chance to give one more pitch. Give one more pitch out there to everybody on why they need to check out I Got Next Sports Media.
Well, you definitely want to check me out either tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm going to get ready to do a live stream, and I'm going to talk about why the Golden State Warriors projected to be winning at least 50 or 56 plus. That's what a lot of people got the Warriors winning. So we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to also talk a little bit of college football, talk about how the Georgia Bulldogs continue to get lucky in some games and defense be skeptical and decide to show up and we win games. So we're going to talk about the Georgia Bulldogs getting lucky the last couple of games. You probably should have lost to Auburn and probably should have lost to Ole Miss yesterday. So we're going to talk about that, talk about how Alabama continue to surge, talk about how the Florida Gators just fired someone today. I kind of saw that was coming. I saw that was coming at this point. So we're going to talk about that as well. And then just get ready for the season to get started. As I'm like Gerald, I'm ready for the NBA season to start. It's going to be good to see everyone back in action every other night pretty much.
It is, of course, my good friend Legend. He hosts I Got Next Sports Media. Looking forward to hearing his thoughts as well. Plus, we will have the guys out this week because they'll be all out. All of our crew will be back in regular season form because the regular season starts on Tuesday. Starts off with, of course, playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break on Tuesday night with the Lakers and the Warriors. Then afterwards, our world-famous post-game coming right back at you here. Monday night is our season prediction. So look forward to that as far as our panelists, not named Joe Sorrell, turned in all their thoughts on the season. So I'm ready to go ahead and share thoughts on that as well. And if you're into fantasy basketball, there is a link in the description on where to go if you want to sign up. We are still looking for teams for our draft tomorrow night. So if you're interested in fantasy basketball, please join us tomorrow night as well. Legend, it's been great having you on. Thank you again for your thoughts on Atlanta, Golden State, and the Western Conference. Any last thoughts before we head on out?
Final thoughts? Anyone in the chat? Willis Jr., you a Atlanta Hawks fan? Check me out, man. Check me out. Hawks fans got to stick together. Check me out.
Antoine, you have a great week as well. In fact, everybody out there, including you, Cho, have a great week as well. Truly appreciate you joining us.
It is back, guys.
Yes, exactly. We're back. The season is back. Coming back to you this week. Looking forward to it. And, we got you covered. I will have many more interviews lined up for you like I've done. And a lot of people are just telling me off camera, sending emails, thanking me for doing these interviews. So I will hit up a lot of these people, including Legend, time and time again during the course of the season, getting updates from them on their teams and the NBA. I know you guys like it, so we'll go ahead and keep bringing it to you as best we can. And as always, There is no better place to go for the Los Angeles Lakers and the NBA than right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.